Now let us okay, now we're gonna have a quick break, and in this quick break, what we're gonna talk about is because last week we spoke about a film called Tin Soldier.
Tin Soldier, yeah, yeah.
And this got me going off on one because I was like, essentially, how did this film get made? Where did they find the money to make this film? Who is paying Jamie Foxx and Robert De Niro their going rate to be in a film that is never going to make any money? And we put that up on YouTube as a short, and that was where somebody called me stupid because they said, "Why are you coming onto social media and complaining about it? Why don't you just go look up how these things how these things work?" And I was like, well, yeah, what I can't be bothered. But we have Holly here, and Holly can kind of explain tax breaks in movies to us. So, Holly, as much as you can, let's give ourselves 2 minutes. Can you explain how the heck
Okay.
tax breaks work?
So basically, it's the same way that a tax incentive works in things other than movies as well. So
Okay.
if you, and let's take the UK for an example, if you make a film that is British, heavily use of inverted commas here,
Yeah.
you make a British film and you're able to demonstrate certain requirements and you are able to film a certain amount of it in the UK. It turns out if it's a TV program, it has to be longer than 59 minutes because I did look this up earlier on.
Okay.
Then you are entitled to a tax rebate. So long as you submit all of your taxes correctly, you can get up to, in some cases, a 90% tax rebate
Wow.
on everything that you have spent. So suddenly it costs them an awful lot less than the amount of money it actually costs. So whilst they spent that money, they've then just got a whole slug of it back once they've submitted their corporation tax returns.
So is that so? Are you saying, for instance, okay? So let's look at this. If I have $1 million and I
Yes.
give $1 million to make this film,
Yes.
the government will give me back 900,000.
I'm not sure quite how much, but they will give you a reasonable amount. If certainly, if
Okay,
the government
let's say
say the government took £1 million from you, yes, they would then give you 900,000 of those £1 million back.
if there was a
For
90%
just
rebate.
being here, yeah.
So Netflix has got a
Doing it.
film. Netflix has got a film that they can put up with big stars, and it doesn't matter if it's any good or not.
Because it hasn't cost them in reality what you think it has, and they can offset any losses on it against their profits elsewhere.
Okay, so
But basically, it's a giant tax wheeze.
okay, well, yeah, but if that is the case, right? If that is the case, why then would you make a film that? Why go get Jamie Foxx and Robert De Niro? Why can't you save more money by putting some nobodies in the films that nobody knows about? Because you're going to put the money in and you're going to get the money back and you're going to spend even less money.
That is a bit of logic I cannot entirely fathom, but presumably they feel that by having them, they will get more little money. Ergo, whilst they will still make a profit in real terms because they have, but not so they'll profit in real terms, but they won't profit on paper. So they still want to get decent viewing figures, but it doesn't matter as much. So there will be some sort of sweet spot about how much money you spend and where you spend it and how you spend it. And there we start going down a tax rabbit hole that I do not understand because I am not a tax accountant nor any sort of accountant. And I definitely don't work in media, but there is an interesting rabbit hole of
So it's a massive thing of, so you have to be seen to be making a film,
yes.
and whether the film becomes, because for instance, I know that a reason why a lot of the Marvel movies have been made in the UK is because the UK government decided to give a massive tax incentive to the makers. So they went, okay, cool, it's actually cheaper to make these films. But those films, they want them to make money. But if they make like, okay, Avengers Endgame makes $1 billion, but if it makes $1 billion, that's cool because they have more profit because they spent less on it because of the tax rebate. But these films, it's kind of like, we're gonna make this film, we're gonna give it no advertising, we're gonna put it out there, but we're not expecting anybody to watch it. But we don't care because we've gotten 90. Well, out of 1,000, essentially, I've instead of paying a million to make this film, I've only paid like 100,000 or something like that. Is that what's happening?
I think so.
Because I look at this, it's kind of like there's something nebulous going on there. There's something nebulous going on there that it just like, for instance, if because I'm thinking if the government are going to give me money to make a film that no one's going to watch, it's going to be like, the Fantastic Four movie that was made in the 80s that they made just to keep hold of the rights. Make something, cast people that nobody's ever heard of, make a film, no problem, I've still got my money. And I had to pay these people even less. But to get Jamie Foxx and Robert De Niro, why put them in that's the bit I don't understand. Does a tax incentive say you must have recognized stars? Does tax incentive say you must spend this much on your actorly wage bill?
There will be really weird things attached to them without any particular certainty of exactly what they were. Thingy, but there will be kind of
all right, cool.
things.
And my next question is like, then why don't they put that money towards a good film, like people who are actually trying to make, or do they put that money? So something like Rye Lane that was made a couple of years back, would that Holly, you've done a valiant effort. You've done a valiant effort in the amount of time that we have to try and explain this to somebody who doesn't understand it. I still have questions that I feel might only be answered when you get into the film studios themselves to say, what the heck are you doing?
But I am going to make inquiries from random people.
And Holly, make your inquiries, and if you find people who are looking for a tax rebate because they're trying to make a British film, Sean, Sharon, and I can write something. I can grab my cameras. We can go down to the Isle of Wight. We can film something. Give us the money. We will do stuff with it. If it's never supposed to make a profit, we are here to benefit as well. We can do that because
we could do that.
we can do that. We can get a crew together in no time whatsoever. Make a piece of rubbish that will fight with Gator Swamp, and we'll just remake Gator Swamp in the Isle of Wight to make it in Newland or Newtown. Yeah, make it in Newtown
Creek. Yeah,
Newtown Creek.
We've got harbour seals there, so it could be sort of like, sea life swamp.
Sea life. It's like sea life danger. Or call the film Danger Sea Life.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. We need to move on. But Holly, thank you for that.
My pleasure. I'm sorry it was not more helpful.
No. It was more helpful than anything else I've heard. It's definitely been more helpful than people on the internet calling me stupid for not understanding it.
Absolutely.
But,
To be fair,